A recent leak has claimed that Samsung's Z Fold 7 will be the world's thinnest foldable when it comes. But it looks that there will be no big improvements for the battery coming with the phone as a direct result. A new tweet from renowned tipster Ice Universe has disclosed that the Z Fold 7 would be the thinnest folding machine in the world at that time, 3.9mm after unfolding, 8.9mm after folding, with a battery of 4400 mAh. If correct, this might make the phone stand out from the competition, which Samsung needs since it has slipped behind when it comes to the best foldables. For perspective, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is 12.2mm thick when folded and 5.6mm when unfold. Meanwhile, the current thinnest foldable. As such, Samsung delivering an even slimmer phone might help it stand out, even if preserving the 4400 mAh battery is a rather major problem. Currently, the Z Fold 6 comes with a 4400 mAh battery, which suggests that Samsung is apparently not intending on upgrading the battery. This also confirms previously released papers that suggest Samsung is intending on preserving the same capacity. But the Z Fold 7 having a 4400 mAh battery is disappointing, particularly considering the Oppo Find N5 comes with a 5600 mAh battery, owing to adopting a denser silicon-carbon compound for its cells. Is maintaining the battery the same size an issue? Usually, retaining a comparable battery isn't the greatest problem, but recent speculations that Samsung is expanding the display size might make that more of a worry. It is also surprising that Samsung is retaining the battery life on the Z Fold 7, but the Z Flip 7 is supposedly growing to a top capacity of 4300 mAh compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 6's 4000 mAh. Samsung's effort for a smaller foldable phone by sacrificing battery might pay off in the end, but we won't know until we get a chance to try it ourselves. Thankfully, we may not have long to wait, as Samsung will allegedly showcase both new foldable phones at the upcoming Galaxy Unpacked, which is scheduled for July. There may be another amazingly small smartphone on the road, the Galaxy Z Fold 7. According to leaker the Galax_, who goes by Anthony, he says the Z Fold 7 will measure only 8.2mm in its folded mode. Not only is it 4mm thinner than the Z Fold 6, it's nearly half as thick as the first Galaxy Fold from 2019. While Anthony didn't reveal the thickness of an unfold Galaxy Z Fold 7, we can estimate that it'll be at least half as thick again, or approximately 4.1mm. If that's the case, it would make it only 0.1mm thinner than the unfolded Find N5. The Find N5 is famous for being so tiny, it's just slightly thicker than a USB-C connector. So for the Galaxy Z Fold 7 to possibly be even smaller, even significantly so, would be quite the feat. If phone manufacturers maintain this up, the thickness of foldable phones is likely to plateau. You can't create a phone slimmer than its charging port, after all. Not until you get rid of it and discover a solution. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. The issue is whether Samsung will truly achieve this with the Z Fold 7. Previous speculation stated the phone will be roughly 9mm thick when folded and 4.5mm when unfolded. That's still substantially slimmer than the Z Fold 6 and would be quite the feat. It's also a lot more realistic as far as rumors go. There have been a lot of huge speculations regarding the Galaxy Z Fold 7 in recent weeks. From what we can gather, the phone will draw a lot of influence from the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition. That includes a bigger 8-inch display, 6.5-inch cover display, and a 200 megapixels primary camera lens, the first for a Z Fold phone. Other speculations include an enhanced under-display camera, increased durability, a stronger folding screen, and a considerably less obvious display wrinkle than we're accustomed to from a Samsung foldable. On top of that, we're very probably going to witness the return of the Snapdragon 8 Elite and some type of One UI software. Those speculations indicated maybe One UI 8 rather than the still quite recent One UI 7. As for a release date, the newest speculations imply an early July launch event is on the plans. That implies we don't have that long to wait to figure out what's happening on with the Samsung Z Fold 7. Talking about the One UI, Samsung's One UI 7 rollout has been a bit of a fiasco. Not only did it come incredibly late, it isn't slated to roll out to non-Galaxy S25 smartphones until sometime later this week. Thankfully, it appears like we may not have to endure the same troubles with the One UI 8. The One UI 8 may debut on the next generation of Samsung foldables. While it isn't obvious what this implications for previous smartphones, those sources think that both the Galaxy Z Fold 7 will arrive with One UI 8 out of the box. That's quite a rapid turnaround, given stories of the behind-the-scenes challenges getting the One UI 7 ready for release. But it's not that unexpected given the expedited release of Android 16, which should form the basis of the One UI 8. Google has claimed that Android 16 would launch much sooner this year. While it hasn't announced precisely when the update will go out to Pixel phones, reports indicate that it might be sometime in late May or June. The fact that the beta has already reached platform stability, which generally doesn't happen until early summer, fits neatly with that timeframe. However, we'll presumably find out more during Google I/O, which begins on May 20. With that in mind, it seems likely that the One UI 8 would also come early. Then the delayed debut of One UI 7 may not have that big of an effect. However, it's unclear when the One UI 8 would spread out to other phones after the Z Fold 7 introduction. While we'd hope that will happen rather fast, that's not assured. But a few leaks have come out concerning the next generation of foldable phones from Samsung, and the latest imply a huge shift for the Z Fold 7. Last month, a rumor from Korea's ET News said that the next foldable will have to lose the S Pen digitizer that enables Samsung's Pen to perform its magic on the folding screen. The change would be part of Samsung's overarching objective of developing a smaller foldable phone. Now a fresh leak from known sources like Jukanosriv, and the elec appears to back up that assertion. The tweet says there's a significant probability that the digitizer won't be included with the Z Fold 7. If correct, then it might suggest that, in the future, Samsung customers will need to charge their S Pens separately from the phone. We got somewhat of a preview of the conundrum confronting Samsung last year when the phone company introduced the super thin Z Fold Special Edition in Korea. That limited release foldable eliminated the digitizer display layer that power stylus support. Hence, no S Pen arrived with that phone. If Samsung follows suit with the Z Fold 7, it's going to have to come up with a separate input device. The information doesn't just concentrate on S Pen compatibility. There is also some information concerning Samsung's triple fold tablet. Component manufacturing is slated to commence in the second quarter of this year, with a debut expected in the third quarter with the rest of Samsung's foldable Fold series. This would fit past claims of the triple fold phone debuting this year. Both sources also say that the phone will have a screen size between 9.9 and 10 inches in size when unfurled. We've heard a good lot about the Z Fold 7 in recent months. However, one of the most recent pieces of news is that Samsung is seeking to lower the manufacturing of its foldable devices by roughly 40%. This is likely owing to how the Galaxy Z Fold 6 underperformed in sales. However, for the models that are launched, leaks have suggested a display that is nearly the same as the Z Fold 6 SD. The elimination of the S Pen is a setback for Samsung aficionados, as it will likely necessitate finding a means to carry and charge the S Pen with a smartphone. However, any attempt to take a smaller version of the Fold might help solve one of its main faults: the phone size. Next, Apple's first ever foldable iPhone may eventually debut next year, if numerous rumors and experts are to be believed. And now, the Apple whisperer, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, predicts that the newest folding tablet will offer a few major advantages over competition. He particularly concentrated on the folding mechanism. Over the years, it's been believed that Apple's inability to develop a folding phone is due to the crease in the screen. Gurman adds that next year's phone will sport a nearly invisible seam when the iPhone is in the open position. On the opposite side of the gadget, it should feature a much higher quality hinge. Earlier this year, tipster Instant Digital stated that Apple would introduce a new liquid metal hinge that employs amorphous alloy, metallic glass. Allegedly, this alloy will be more robust and able to become flatter. In example, Samsung's flagship foldable, the Galaxy Z Fold series, has improved annually but hasn't disguised the crease. Still, this year's Galaxy Z Fold 7 should be a major advance compared to the Z Fold 6. Reportedly, Samsung Display has succeeded to eradicate the crease, although it's unclear whether it will emerge in this year's model or next year's foldables. According to Gurman, The foldable iPhone would be positioned as a new high-end model, rather than a niche alternative design. This coincides with speculations from analyst Ming-Chi Kuo that it might debut next year or in 2027 with a price between $2,000 to $2,500. Kuo also mentioned that the folding iPhone should include a 7.8-inch inner display with a 5.5-inch cover screen, 2 cameras, a front camera, and a Touch ID power button instead of Face ID. He stated the handset would be 4.5mm when unfolded and between 9mm and 9.5mm when folded. Very identical to specifications to what the Z Fold 7 should offer this year. Gurman did add a disclaimer that individuals he talked with stated that development might fall behind, which implies that we could not see the phone until 2027. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.